hustle got to be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.
All right, morning, guys. So I'm going to do week 9's recap. I'm trying to catch up, as I said before. I am currently in week 12, finishing up week 12 today. Today is Thursday, April 1st. No April Fools for you. You guys want some fool stuff? Go somewhere else, man. This is all serious, all the time. I don't ever play here. I'm about my business. Okay. All right. So, week 9. We started off with El Paso, Texas to Grand Prairie, Texas. If you recall, that was after I delivered in Midland, Texas. I ended up relocating out to El Paso, which was roughly 300 some odd miles. I don't recall exactly. But picked up in El Paso, 19-mile deadhead. From the point they called the load on me, put the load on me, 628 loaded. That was one piece, 500 pounds. And that was at 95 cents a mile plus $100 for relocation out to El Paso after Midland. So, after this, I ended up getting a load. Again, this is in a prior video, but I ended up getting a load booked on me before I was unloaded in Grand Prairie. I was supposed to have a load coming out of Del Rio. So I shot down to Del Rio halfway that night, finished it up the following morning. It ended up dry running. So then I ended up having the possible load out of Eagle Pass. So I shot down to Eagle Pass. That one didn't happen, so I got dry run for that one as well. Then was given the option of a load out of Los Indios, which was like another 260 miles. Can't remember the exact mileage, which is what I took. And that was taking me to first stop in Michigan, second stop in Ohio. So that was the next load. That was paying at 95 cents a loaded mile. From the time they booked it on me, it had a 27-mile deadhead on it. But it was actually 200 and some odd. The loaded miles was 1,842. That was 2 pieces at 450 pounds. So, yeah, as I said, that one had 2 stops. Then we got a Mansfield, Ohio to Grovetown, Georgia. 58-mile deadhead, 669 miles on the loaded. 2 pieces, 1,177 pounds. That one also paid 95 cents a mile. Then I had a Gainesville, Georgia to Live Oak, Florida. Basically what we call chicken run, because it was a chicken manufacturer. Yeah, they're making chickens, y'all. It was a chicken spot. Can't remember. I think that's Purdue. I can't remember which one it is, but that one was a shit run. I hate that run because Live Oak, Florida in general just sucks. I mean, it's just horrible. So I wasn't happy about doing that, but that is a direct customer of Barrett's. So, I take it. I can say, hey, no, but you don't want to do that, man. That's how you get a good relationship with the company and with dispatch. You got to take the shit runs with the good ones. You can't just get good ones. So that was 5 pieces, 300 pounds. It was just some rolls of some plastic wrap. That's all it was. But yeah, that was 55 miles on the deadhead, 317 on the loaded, and that finished up our week. So that finished the week with 3,456 miles, 149 deadhead miles. That was 4%. I didn't add up the relocate miles. If you want to add it up, it was probably shit. Probably 700-800 miles. But again, to differentiate between the two, between actual deadhead and relocate is my decision. I make the choice to move. I don't say, hey, you guys are going to pay me to move. I just make the move. Some carriers offer the option to sit and eventually get a paid move. But you're in my opinion, you're wasting valuable time sitting around waiting. So I'm going to come out of my pocket. Like, altogether 700 and some odd miles. I mean, what am I out? Like 80 bucks? 80 bucks maybe? 70, 80 bucks, somewhere in that range. So I'll invest that in order to keep rolling, and that's what happened. I mean, like with the move to El Paso, got a load the very next day. Making the other moves. Now, again, the other moves got paid because on the dry runs, just on that, I ended up getting $250 total for both dry runs combined. So, again, that's money that helped pay for the gas to be willing to go drive another 260 miles to go pick up the next load. So, it all works out in my mind. That's why I keep track of the numbers, because the numbers tell me different, then I'll start doing different. But, anyhow, back to the numbers. So, that was, as I said, gave you the miles, gave you the deadhead. The gas cost for the week, $668.90. Of course, the van payment of $158 a week. Insurance payment of $139.22. Total expenses, $966.12. The gross revenue for the week was $3,532.05. Minus the expenses, the net was $2,565.93. So with all the money combined, the dry run money, everything for the week for that gross pay, the rate per mile, rate per loaded mile ended up being $1.02. So that was week 9, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Put in the comment section. I also wanted to touch on one more thing. I was messaging with another driver this morning, and he was asking about, he asked me, he said, hey, I've always wondered if the detention pay is low, is it possible to cancel the load? I think what exactly he's saying is if the dry run pay is just like minimal, is it okay to just go ahead and cut your losses right now and not continue to put more time into waiting for that load to eventually dry run? Now, the answer, the short and sweet answer to that is yes. You can cancel at any time. I mean, you are an independent contractor. You can say, hey, I'm out. My suggestion on how to do it is you kind of want to, you have to almost take it by feel. You want to discuss it with your dispatch, because maybe that customer you're sitting there waiting for that freight for, maybe that is a direct customer. Maybe that's somebody they use often. You don't know what the relationship is with the company you're with and the company they got the freight from. So if there's a good relationship, the dispatch is obviously going to want you to, sit around, wait, and try to please the customer as much as possible. But at the same time, if that wait becomes so detrimental to your individual earnings, obviously, you want to say, hey, I just want off of this load. There isn't no exact time like, hey, if I'm sitting 5 hours, it's done. It's kind of one of those things, you go in and everything just seems like people have no idea what's going on. Maybe after a couple hours and it's seeming, you just got that feeling in the way everybody's handling things that it's possibly not going to happen, and if it does, it's going to be the next day or hours and hours down the road. Now, then you might want to be like, hey, talk dispatch, like, can we just get off of this load? Can we go ahead and just try to dry run this and try to find me something else? What else is going to come into play is, say it's Laredo, say it's a border town, say it's a city that is really tough to get freight out of. You might want to sit and wait on that one, because I've had that happen personally. There's been some loads that I'm pissed, I'm frustrated that I'm waiting, but at the same time, I know that I have slim pickings where I'm at. I need this load to happen. Like, this is a good paying load, or it's taking me to a great freight area, or it's a lot of miles, or whatever it may be. It's more beneficial to get that load and try to wait for that load than it is to say, hey, just take me off of it and try to find something else. Now, if you're in a high freight area, high volume freight area like a Chicago, yeah, man, you don't want to spend a lot of time waiting around for that thing. If it seems hopeless, yeah, just discuss it with your dispatch. Talk to your dispatch, say, hey, man, what are you thinking? You think this is going to happen? I mean, what's the communication going on between your dispatch and the broker, the customer? If it seems all crappy, like I said, you talk with the dispatch and you guys might decide to just pull. I've had that happen. To where me and dispatch have both felt the same thing. Like, hey, we just want to get off this run, man. If we have the option to get off this run, let's go. One of the things you got to realize is that there is also some penalties that can be involved if you pull yourself off of a load after so much time. Like generally, when a load is initially booked, there's a bit of a grace period as far as like maybe 20 minutes, half hour, to where you can give back the load and it doesn't look awful. It doesn't look great, but it still doesn't. It isn't bad. But after a certain point, and you pull yourself off, because we all know what can possibly happen in this industry. Nothing's like 100% guaranteed. That there could be a weight on the freight or whatever it may be, and depending on whether it's an active arrow run or one of them bigger brokers that have the automotive companies in there, as a customer, it may be written in there about being stuck with them basically for X amount of time until they say it's okay to let go. You don't know what all the issues are that may be attaching you to that load. So it's not just a simple, hey, I can get out of it. Unless you're just not considering all of that shit and you don't care, then yeah, it is that simple. But if you're trying to run a business and be productive, then you're going to take all of those things into consideration. All right, I'm out, man. It is 10:36 Central, and I'm hoping to get a load sometime soon. I'm in Joplin, Missouri. Just in there, got me a shower, feeling good, got a good night's sleep. You know what, though? Last 2 days I've had phone issues. Yesterday, any of you that are on the Facebook group seen that my wife was asking if anybody heard from me. I woke up at like 1:30 in the afternoon, because I just delivered yesterday morning. Woke up, looked at my phone, read the texts. It's her saying she don't know if I'm okay, saying that she's called. I have no missed calls. I see that there's a voicemail. I call her. I'm able to call out. Then I ask her to call me back. She can't call me. So, I don't know what happened to my phone. That was weird. I sat it in the same place. I didn't do nothing out of the ordinary to it. Basically turned it off, restarted it. Everything was fine. Called dispatch. Dispatch hadn't tried calling at all, which was a relief. And then I bring it up because this morning I wake up and my freaking phone's dead. Woke up at 7:20 this morning. Phone's dead. I'm like, what in the hell? So yeah, I'm having some phone issues the last couple of days. Just did an update last night, but I didn't notice that my battery was down. So I don't know, man. I don't know. See if we have a third day of it, right? All right, I'm out.